What's up, everybody? Thank you for stopping by the channel. Today we are in my basement because it's a bit chilly outside and I was like, I'm not really feeling the cold today. So we are in the basement. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, prepare to dive into a roller coaster of my intermittent fasting journey. Today I'll be reflecting on how far I've come, the lessons that I've learned along the way, and what I'm looking forward to in the future. So grab your bottle of water, a snack, and let's get into the ups and downs and the in between right after this intro. All right, guys, so let's jump into it. So back in August of 20, and I have my notes here just so I don't miss anything. So if you see me looking down, I'm just looking down at my notes so I don't miss anything. So back in August of 2021, I was the heaviest that I had ever been, which was 301.5 pounds with a body fat percentage of 51.9%. Now, this is the biggest that I have ever been, and if you go back and watch my video, I'll try to put a card up there so you could click on it, but it kind of goes through the story of what kind of was going on, but that was the biggest that I ever was. It was right around the time of COVID. So everybody's in the house, you're not really doing anything. My work is sedentary, so I'm sitting at a desk all day, hardly any movement. Not to mention, during that time, also, my mother-in-law contracted COVID and she came into our house and we were her caregivers. So not much movement outside the house, even if COVID would not have been around. Just simply because we were taking care of my mother-in-law, and that was a full-time job in itself. Anybody who's ever done caregiving knows what I'm talking about. So that was kind of 2001 into 2002. During that time, during the COVID time, I was not fasting at all. Now, moving into the later half of like 2022-ish, I started fasting and doing OMAD. For those of you that don't know or maybe new, OMAD is 1 meal a day. I was literally only eating 1 meal a day, and that would be it. So around about May of 2023 is when I switched over from doing OMAD 1 meal a day to ADF, which is alternate day fasting, where you eat one day, you skip a day of eating, you fast that day, and then you eat the following day. Now that basically started from May of 2023. That's when we kind of start to get into some real weight loss as far as my journey. And from May 2023, like I said, I weighed 301.5 pounds, and then I dropped down to 284.2 pounds, which was a 17.3 pound loss in about 2 years, which isn't bad. Like, it's not a bad thing that 17.3 pounds in 2 years, that's not bad at all. Especially considering all of the different things that were going on in my life from that 2021 into 2023 time frame. You have me and my wife taking care of my mother-in-law, which is a full-time job, and then my dad ended up getting sick in 2023. He got diagnosed with cancer, and it was like stage 4, rapid, no chance type of cancer. So that happened in March, March-S of 2023. The huge decline started around June, the beginning of June, and then my dad actually passed away um, in July. So that period of time was kind of rough. So not really wasn't really able to focus as much as I would have liked to on weight loss or fasting. I was still weighing myself, but I wasn't really, just even finding time to eat during those times. It was hard. So, and then there's a lot of stress happening during that time. So, it was not so great. It was not so great. So, I'll take the 17.3 pounds all the way up and from 2021 to about May of 2023. Not bad at all. I'm proud of myself. So not bad at all. Moving into about October 2023, I had hit my lowest weight since probably, I'm going to say, high school. And that weight was 248.9 pounds with a body fat percentage of 48.4 pounds. Now, that was a 52.6 pound loss overall from that 301.5 starting weight, and then 3.5% body fat loss from that starting weight that I had, which was 301.5 pounds with a 51.9% body fat. So 52.6 pound loss from August 2021 to about October 2023. That's not bad. Again, that is not bad, guys, at all. And mind you, that was for me, kind of still doing intermittent fasting and teeter-tottering between either 16 and 8 or 17 hours fasted, 18 hours fasted, at minimum going a 16-hour fast. Basically trying to do ADF if I could, but still fasting in general as far as using the different fasting protocols. So a 52.6 pound loss, guys, that is not bad at all. When I went back to look, I was like, okay, because currently, and I'll get to what my current weight is and everything like that, but currently, and if you watch my epic fail video where I tried to do fasting for 48 hours, it was a kind of a downer, but looking back on what I've accomplished since 2021 to now, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. And I'm trying to stay positive. I think that's one of the hardest things is staying positive, because life happens. And when life happens, it's hard for us to stay positive, stay the course, and trust the process. And I felt like I was kind of mirroring down that path. But like I've always said, this channel really helps me kind of stay the course, because I know that I'm not alone in the journey, although it is my journey alone to do, but the channel helps me through kind of the rough patches that I have throughout life that tend to happen. And it could be good or bad, whether it be a vacation, whether it be, the passing of a loved one, whether it be just going out with friends. The channel really helps me come back to focus, if that makes sense, which I really appreciate. I really appreciate that. So again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate that. But let's get back to it, because I like to get sidetracked sometimes. So 52.6 pound loss, that's not bad at all. And when you go through the progression all the way through the end of 2023, which is when my mother-in-law actually passed, I had completely kind of stopped. It was a lot of stuff going on. It was during the holidays. It was It was crazy. I was still fasting, but like I said, it was not what I intended to do. It was just what I could do at that point. So as we wrap up 2023 and we move into 2024, I start the year off at 259 pounds, which would have been about a 10-pound increase from back in October of 2023. Not bad considering what had happened, right? Moved up from 48.4% body fat to a 49.3. Again, not bad considering everything. So those of you that don't know, I hurt my knee in May of 2024. So when I hurt my knee, I was I was immobile, so I couldn't move because my knee was hurt, and that took a couple of months for me to get through. That was extremely hard. I had to eat daily for the medicine that I was taking, and of course that threw me off track. So had to eat because of that. So that really took me off. My weight shoots up from 259 to 283, and I'm inching back up the ladder. And it goes from 283 pounds, and then 51.9% body fat. So that was a huge increase. I'm actually going to calculate it to see how much of an increase it was, because I did not do that in my notes. So let's see how much it is. That was a 24-pound increase. Gosh, when I think about that and I think how hard I worked to get that weight off, it's kind of depressing, but there was nothing that I could do. I had to eat for the meds. I couldn't move because I was injured, and there was nothing I could do. So 24 pounds gained off of nothing, me not being able to do nothing. Mainly what I was doing during that time was a lot of stretching, a lot of PT to get range of motion back in my knee. So it was like exercise, but not really. More so painful. And, just trying to get the knee back to where it is. It's still not 100%. I would say that now I'm probably at maybe 65%, which is really kind of upsetting, because if you watched any of my previous videos, especially the videos that were earlier on, I had a routine where I rode for 10 minutes a day. And I haven't quite gotten back into that, which I want to do because it was really helpful and it made me kind of stay on task what I was doing. So I really do want to get back into that. But my issue is, and I've gotten on it a couple of times, my issue is that it doesn't quite feel the same when I'm rowing. And I don't know what it is. It's just the extension of when I'm extending my legs, it feels off. And it's probably because one of my legs is kind of shorter than the other one now because of the injury. And I know it doesn't make sense at all, but that's what the doctor said. And it's not like noticeable. Like if I was just standing, you would know it. But in that specific movement, I can feel it and it feels weird. But I have to get past that. So I know that the only way to do that is to row, but I just have to get into it. So anyway, going back to the poundage gain, 24 pounds gain, that's a lot of weight to put on, right? It's a lot of weight. I'm now in the phase of trying to get not only that weight off, but getting back to where I wanted my goal to be for this year. So, we've only got 2 more months left of this year. So I realize I won't be able to hit the goal that I was wanting to hit, which was the goal of 250 pounds. I'm way off course. So I have to adjust. And with fasting, that's the best thing about fasting is that you can adjust as needed. So I am currently back on the wagon. If you haven't watched that video, go ahead and go watch it. I am back on the wagon and I am, doing my fasting, adjusting as needed for different social gatherings, anything that might come up. I'm doing that, but always maintaining a fasting state. No minimum than 16 hours of fasting. But I want to go ahead and hop back into ADF, which is going to happen very soon. But with the holidays coming up, my birthday coming up, it's a lot of different things that have to move at the same time. So we'll see when I can jump back on that wagon for good so I can start getting this weight back down. But coming off of that 283 pounds with a 24-pound weight gain, I am currently at 276.6 pounds with a 49.7% body fat, which is a 6.4 pound loss and a 2.2% body fat loss in 3 months. With me being, back on everything. So overall, I'm still down 24.9 pounds from that highest weight of 301.5 pounds. And even still maintaining a little bit of body fat percentage loss, with 2.2 body fat percent loss overall from that 51.9% body fat loss. So again, this video is really about reflecting on where I've come from and where I am now. And I can honestly say that I am really glad and happy about maintaining the weight loss. Although a shift up, it was for a reason that couldn't have been avoided. I'm happy. I think the main thing, my main takeaway from this whole experience from 2021, from August of 2021 being my heaviest and being the saddest and most depressed probably that I've ever been, is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And it is a lifestyle change. Yes, it is a manageable change that I have come to know and be a part of my life, and know that I can adjust and still maintain the weight loss that I had. Yes, I took a step back when I got injured and when all of that stuff happened, but I am still maintaining a positive loss. 24 pounds, most people would love to lose 24 pounds. And for me to have maintained, that weight loss, I'm just amazed at it. It makes me feel a sense of accomplishment that I didn't even know I was looking for. And it is something that I'm going to continue to strive for and continue to do. I wanted you guys to hear that reflection, because I think sometimes we get lost in the day-to-day scale, in the day-to-day, fit of our clothes. And we don't look back and say, hey, I was 301 pounds and not doing great. And now I'm down, whatever many pounds it is, and I'm doing great. I feel great. Yes, I've had some speed bumps, some hurdles, some things to overcome, but I am still getting this done. I'm still on my journey, on my path, and moving forward, not backwards. I'm not stagnant. Things are still progressing in the direction that I want them to go. So if you're out there and you're feeling defeated, you're feeling like, things aren't what they should be, just take time and reflect on that and see where you've actually come from. Because once you put it down, I literally wrote it down. Once I wrote it down on paper, I'm like, oh wow, I've done good things. And so I just really want you, this video is for you guys to go back and reflect on what it is that you've done, where you started, what was that tipping point that made you say, I'm going to do ADF, I'm going to do OMAD, I'm going to do intermittent fasting, I'm going to do 16 hours, I'm going to do 18 hours, 24 hours, whatever your fasting protocol is. I want you to take a step back, look at where you've come from, and look at where you are now, and congratulate yourself, on your progress, because even if it's just a pound, even if it's a half a pound, you have been successful at what it is that you're trying to do. And let's not forget that this is a lifestyle change, and it is a journey until the day we die. Just keep that mindset. And if you have any speed bumps, hurdles, just know that after that speed bump or hurdle, if you're unable to progress through with intermittent fasting, that once all of that is cleared up, you can jump right back into intermittent fasting and proceed with your journey. So I try not to make this video long, but I figured it would be a little longer because I was going through multiple years. But if you've stayed this long, thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. I have over 400 subscribers now, and I am just extremely grateful for every last one of you. I really hope that you know how much I appreciate you watching my videos and the words of encouragement. It is really, truly a blessing to have this platform to encourage people and be encouraged. So thank you. And like I like to end all of my videos with, guys, if I can be 301.5 pounds, 51.9% body fat, and come to you today, what is this, 2024, about 3 years later, and tell you that I've lost weight and I've maintained it, you can do this for sure. And I will catch you in the next video.